Good worship today. I really appreciate our worship team. This revival every night we had a great speaker. It was a great time. And so worship team showing up every night and doing that was good. Also to recognize Abigail and Olivia Pruitt. Where are they? There they are. Stand up, girls. They are now brown belt experts. So I'm putting them on the security team. Thank you very much. You know, because they look sweet and innocent, but they handle a bow staff. Really good. I mean, they know how to do it. Thank you, girls, very much. Very good. I'm on a crusade today, and today begins that day. There is a great, important holiday. And what's the name of it? Christmas. I'm not going to mention that name. Thanksgiving. We are going to forget Thanksgiving. And I'm getting to not even mentioning that other holiday that comes after that, because Thanksgiving is important. So we start a new series today. The name is How to Have Everything You Want? No. How to Want Everything You Have. How to Want Everything You Have. A brand new series starts today about Thanksgiving. Okay? And so we're going to, I found a very important fact. Where does Thanksgiving rank in the popularity of American holidays? Where do you think it ranks? All American holidays, where does Thanksgiving rank? Who thinks it's top 1 or 2? Who thinks it's the top 4? Who thinks it's the top? It's 7, people. 7th. 7th. Well, there. People go from Halloween to Christmas, and they go right. And so that's another reason I'm committed not to forget it, because it is an important holiday. So, to this, we're going to look at a story that Jesus told in Luke, the 12th chapter. So you have your Bibles, Luke, the 12th chapter. And we're going to look at verse 13. Someone in the crowd said to him, "Teacher, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me." So some guy is mad because apparently the dad or the parents passed away. The brother's in charge of the inheritance, and he's not going to share. Brothers are like that, aren't they? You know that, don't you? Brothers are. So here's a family dispute, and they drag Jesus into it. Jesus, tell my brother to divide the inheritance with me, because he's got it, and he's not dividing. And so this guy is mad to do it. Jesus said, "Man, who wanted me a judge or an arbiter between you? That's not my path, not my deal. That's not my pay grade. I don't get that." Then he said, "But listen, watch out. Be on your guard against all kinds of greed. A man's life does not consist in the abundance of his possessions." I knew a guy that lived by the motto, "He who dies with toys wins." Have you heard that before? You know, I have the next part. That is, he who dies is dead. What do you do with your toys when you're dead, you know? He dies is dead. So, all this now. Then he told a parable. The ground of a certain rich man. So this man's already rich. Produced a good crop. And he thought to himself, "What shall I do? I have no place to store my crops." Now, think about what just happened to this man. He's a farmer, obviously. And so this year, he has the best harvest he's ever had. Never. In fact, we're going to see in a minute, he didn't even have a place to put it. The best crop he ever had, a good crop. Now, did he do anything to cause this to happen? Just fertilizer, plant a different seed, do a different crop rotation. Did he do anything that would cause this to happen? No. He is surprised and unprepared for it. All of a sudden, all this crop, no place to put it. He is surprised and unprepared for it. In the lottery. Boom. One day, you're a millionaire. One day you have all this money. One day, you're rich. Would that change your life? Would that make you a different person? Did you know that lottery winners, because a lot of times we think, boy, I wish I could win the lottery. 70% of lottery winners are bankrupt in years. Did you know that? Why is that? We're going to talk about in a minute about how that changes. So now all of a sudden, he has all of these crops, wealth, and he doesn't know what to do. What will I do? I have no place to store my crops. This is what I'll do. I'll tear down, build bigger ones. And he's got all this wealth, and he doesn't know what to do. Now, this gives us a little insight into his spiritual condition. Because he windfall, something unexpected comes in, something happens. What's his first response to that? I am going to become a hoarder. I am going to hold it and keep it to myself. I'm going to keep it. It's all mine. Don't touch it. This is mine. I'm going to store it up. I'm a hoarder and store all the stuff that I have. Now, a spiritual person would have a different reaction because as a spiritual person, as a Christian, listen, I react to both success and failure, windfall or great loss, the same. Did you know that? Your response to either great wealth or all of a sudden great poverty is the same. That is what? What did Job do once he learned that he had lost everything he had? What did he do? What did the Bible say he did? He worshiped God. Worshiped God. Lost everything. He worshiped God. My crops produce a great crop. Thank you, God, for what you've given me. God, I appreciate that because remember, what did he do to happen? Nothing. It was his farming ability that did it. It says something happened in the ground that gave crop. And so where did this abundance come from? It came from God. It was a gift. It wasn't anything that he did. It was a gift from God. Now he is wealthy, a great gift of God made him a wealthy man. And so his first response is, it's all mine, don't touch it. He became a hoarder because he was selfish and self-centered. He said, I'm going to tear down my barns and build bigger barns to store it. Did you know that in America today, there are more storage places than McDonald's, Starbucks, post offices, all put together? In America today, there are 53,000 storage units in the U.S. Guess how many there are worldwide? 10,000. And in America, there are 53,000. It is a $24 billion business to do what? Store our stuff. Have we got a problem with prosperity in America and self-centeredness so that all the stuff we have, we're going to build bigger barns? Because one thing you'll notice about extreme wealth is for some reason, you'll notice that if a country or becomes healthy or prosperous, because all of a sudden there's extreme wealth, but there's extreme waste. Was there anything wrong with perfectly good barns? What did they do? Tear them down. Build a bigger barn. Nothing wrong with them. Just not big enough. So I'm going to tear them down, build me bigger barns. Get something bigger, faster, more up to date. Nothing with my cell phone, but the new one's out, so I'm going to take a perfectly good cell phone and put it in my drawer and get a brand new one. Nothing wrong with the car. I'm going to get a brand new car, my perfectly good car, to someone else. You see what I'm saying? You know, when you're wealthy, you can do stuff. You can throw good stuff away. Wealth, that's a sign of prosperity, is that you have excess money, but you also have excess waste. What does that tell us in America? About us, that we are very wealthy, aren't we? We are very wealthy. If you make $30,000 a year, you are in the 1% of wage earners in the world. You're in the top 1% in the world if you make $32,000 or more. So most people in America are in the top 1% of the wage earners in the world. Why? Because we're a wealthy nation. And as our wealth grows, prosperity grows, does our thankfulness grow with it? No, it doesn't. What happens? We forget Thanksgiving because we can't wait to get to what? Black Friday. Because I'm going to spend more money and get more stuff. Right? I'm going to go to get this stuff over with and family, and then because we're starting early this year. Already they're doing Black Friday stuff. Because Americans are prosperous and wealthy and they've got money to spend, they're going to take advantage of that. See, there's something about being prosperous and wealthy that changes us, that makes us different. You know, he became wealthy and prosperous. All of a sudden, it flipped a switch in him. And he became very self-centered and selfish. Because, look, let's go back to the scripture. Remember, he was a farmer, a very good farmer. Look what. Then he said, I'll tear down my barns, build bigger barns. Then I'll store them. Then I'll say to myself, you've kept good things up for many years. Life is easy. Eat, drink, from being a productive farmer to being a lazy bum. I'm not going to work anymore. Don't have to. I got plenty of stuff. And so I am not going to work any longer. And so it changed him when he became prosperous. It changed him. Now, this is not an isolated occurrence. This is well recognized in Scripture that prosperity and wealth changes us. In fact, look back to Deuteronomy. In Deuteronomy, the 8th chapter, the Israelites are getting ready to go to the promised land. God knows they are, and the promised land is a very prosperous land. He knows that's going to change them, so he warns them. Listen to what he says. You have eaten and are satisfied. Praise the Lord your God for the land he has given. And so what are they supposed to do when they are full? What they're supposed to do is worship God, praise God. That's what they're supposed to do. Be careful that you do the Lord your God, failing to observe his commands and laws decrees. Otherwise, when you eat and are satisfied, when you build fine houses and settle down, when your herds and flocks are large, your silver and gold increase, and all you have multiplied. And so they are prospering, they're getting wealthy, more stuff is coming in. Does that put within them the inclination to worship God and to thank him? No, this is what's going to happen. Then your heart will become proud, and you will forget the Lord your God who brought you out of Egypt, out of the land of slavery. He led you through the vast and dreadful desert, that and waterless land with its venomous snakes and scorpions. He brought water rock. He gave you manna to eat, something your fathers. You yourself, my power, the strength of my hand has produced this wealth for me. But remember, the Lord is he who has the ability to produce wealth. So confirms his covenant. So God is telling the Israelites, listen, it's going to change you. You're going to be different when you get there and start prospering. The temptation is going to be to forget me, forget that I provided this, forget to thank me, and become prideful and arrogant and hoard this stuff because you think that you did it on your own. That's going to be the temptation. Is that a temptation for us? Absolutely it is. Absolutely it is. That the more prosperous we become, the more self-centered we become. The more stingy we become. Did you know that the people that give the highest percentage of their income are who? The poorest. Isn't that weird? That the rich give very small income. Poor give a lot larger percentage. You know, Jesus pointed that out when he was watching people bring money to the treasury of the temple. All these wealthy guys came in and they all this stuff. And then there's one little widow who came in, gave one penny, one mite, and Jesus said she gave more than anyone else because she gave all she had. You know, they were giving a lot, but percentage-wise, it was a very small, minuscule amount. She gave everything that she had. And so as we prosper, we have to be careful that like this man, we don't become self-centered. We don't become, we don't start saying, this is mine. You can't touch it. This all belongs to me. Don't leave me alone. This is my stuff. We've got to be careful that it doesn't affect our heart and turn us away from God. Because all of us now are wealthy. What's he going to do? What it says. I'm going to make life easy. I'm going to eat what I want to eat, drink what I want to drink, and I'm going to sell the tractor and buy a Corvette. Get a haircut. I'm going to lose some weight. I'm going to Vegas. I'm going to enjoy my life. I've worked hard all my life, and now it's time to enjoy it. It's going to be all about what? Me. Let me just take another little side issue. We were created to work. When God put Adam and Eve in the garden, he gave them a job. Take care of the garden, tend it, make it productive. They had a job to do in the garden. God didn't have them there twiddling their thumbs. He created us to be productive. And we are most fulfilled when we are working and when we're productive. That's what, in fact, work didn't become work until after the fall. They sinned and the whole earth failed. God said, sweat of your brow, your earnest. Then work became work after the. But before that, they had a job to do. You know, he tells parables and gives us some insight. It says when you a responsibility and you accomplish that, you know, your 5 bags of gold or whatever it is, or your talents, and you do something good with it, you achieve something, you multiply it. What's the reward? Did you remember that parable? The reward when I achieve something good with what God has given me. What's my reward? Did God say, okay, you can take a break now? No. I'm going to give you more stuff to do. I'm going to give you more responsibility. You've proved faithful in a little. I'm going to make you, because we were designed to be productive and creative, not to sit back and not do anything, not to live life on us, but to live life based on being obedient to what God has called to do. And so what wealth and prosperity does, it takes our eyes off of Christ and off of God's plan for life, and it places our eyes on ourselves. We have means to be self-centered because so much. And that's what he thought. I've got everything I need. I don't need anything. And so I'm going to live life my way. I'm going to do everything that I want to do. I'm going to hoard it. I'm going to keep it and live life my way. He's got it all planned out, right? He's got his life plan, knows exactly what he's going to do, when he's going to do it, and how he's going to do it. But God said to him, oh, God? Oh, so now God has something to say about it. He's not thought about it. He's not mentioned God, has he? God has been part of his equation. As he's figuring up how much I've got stored up, what I'm going to do with it, all these plans that I'm making about, going to and build a house, and I'm going to do this. He got all these plans. Where's God in that equation? Is God part of that equation? No, he's left God out, hasn't he? Hey, listen. It's not a good idea to leave God out of the equation of your life. Because he's got something to say, right? He's got something he wants to say to it. If you leave him out, you leave out the most important part, the most important function of that equation. He left God out. Now God said, oh, okay. Said, you fool. Didn't call him evil. Didn't call him wicked. He called him a fool. 9. Your life will be then who you've prepared for yourself. This is how it will be with everyone who serves up things for himself, not reach towards God. Let's see. I got plenty of stuff. I'm going to take life easy. I'm going to do what I want to do. Wait a minute. God said, you don't have any time. Can he control his time? No. Time is out of his control. God controls his time. And so God says, yeah, you've got plenty of money. You've got plenty of wealth. You've got plans. You've got time. What good does it do you? Who gets it? How much did he leave behind? Now, what do you all that you've earned? Now, be careful what the point. You don't miss the point here. I'm not going to do a sermon that says, okay, you're all going to die. We know that. That's not the point of it. The point is, your life make God part of the equation. In your life, consider the place that God has in your life. And don't think that it's all about you, because it's not. And then Jesus goes on to tell us what we do about it. Now, I've said before, now here's the solution. Jesus then said, therefore, whenever you see in Scripture, what do you want to do with it? Therefore, I tell you, don't worry about your life. Believe about your body, what you will wear. Life more than food, the body more than clothes. So Jesus' advice to us not to be a fool is to do what? What's his advice to us? Is not worrying is good advice? Because what does worry mean? When he says worry here, it doesn't mean that you don't take precautions. It doesn't mean you don't plan for the future. It means that you don't fret and pursue that and forget everything. It means that your life isn't based around things you own and the things you eat and the things you wear. It means that your life consists of that. That is not the essence of your life. So don't let that be your whole. Don't worry about that. Consider the ravens. They don't sow, reap, room. God feeds them. And you're much more valuable. Who are you by worrying and adding a single hour to your life? Now, this is important. This is the parable. And that is what? Time. He said, two of you, by worrying, can change time. Add an hour to your life. Do that. Can you do that? No. No one can do that. In other words, the most important factor in our life, which is our time, we have no control over, right? We have no control over. And so that is who controls time. Right? And so shouldn't God then be our equation if he controls the very thing we have no control over, the thing that's the most important thing in our life? Hear this, man, you have a choice. You can have all the money you want, or you can have the knowledge of the man who controls the time in your life. Which would you prefer? Would you prefer be fabulously wealthy but with no time, or be extremely poor and have time? Which would you prefer? You see the difference? And so what that says, guys, listen, what do you value? What's important to you? What are you pursuing? What are you chasing? If you're chasing all this stuff out here, hoarding up all this stuff that you can accumulate, stuff that you put in your, the stuff that you put in your storerooms, the stuff that you have so much of that you sell it on $1 because you don't want it anymore. All this, if you're pursuing all of that, you're wasting your life. You're wasting your time because it doesn't give you anything back. It's a waste. God says you're a fool to do it. You're a fool to do that because all that stuff means nothing. It can pass away tomorrow. How many of you have money in the stock market? Done pretty good this year. It's up. In record territory. People have made millions, billions of dollars in the stock market in the last several years because it's going up. Invested, they've gone up. But you know what? 2 words can crash it tomorrow. If China says deal, watch the stock market. It crashes, right? If y'all fall in the stock market, know that. You know what? They're growing because they think we're going to have a deal with China. My brother, that's not China, and that's when I thought about that. He's over there on business. If they say no deal, all of us made billions, they're going to lose billions tomorrow because it's going to be crazy. In other words, all of that wealth is transitory. It's so superficial, so fragile. It can be gone tomorrow. And so is that what you're doing? Consider the lilies. They do not grow. And I tell you, not even Solomon, all of his splendor, was dressed like one of those. That's how God clothes the grass of the field, which is here today, thrown into the fire tomorrow. How much more will he clothe you, O faith? So do not set your heart on what you eat or drink. Do not worry about it. For the pagans run after such things, and your Father knows that you need them. Seek first his kingdom, and these will be given to you as well. These things will be given to you as well. I like this last. Do not be afraid, little flock, for your Father has been pleased to give you the kingdom. Sell your possession, give to the poor, provide purses for yourselves that will not wear out, a treasure in heaven that will not be exhausted, where no thief comes near, no moth destroys. And here is, we're getting into the very crux of it. This is what counts. We begin to think that life is what we see, hear, and feel, and touch. That this is all life is. What Jesus keeps telling us, and what you need to not forget, is eternity is what. Eternity. This life doesn't matter in the sense that it's going to last. It's going to end. And what matters is eternity. Prepared for eternity. Have you laid up, Jesus says, treasures in heaven where moth. Have you laid up treasures in eternity? Are you valuing things in eternity? Because those treasures, that value will always be there. It will never diminish. It will never be stolen. It's going to be there for you. Listen, God has made you fabulously rich in eternity. He has given you the kingdom. We are co-heirs with Christ. Eternity that matters. And so it doesn't matter how big a pile of stuff you accumulate here. What is in eternity waiting? That's what matters. So what we need to think is, what follows us to eternity? Now, what follows you to eternity? There are some things that you do follow you to eternity. What are they? What, I call it history and eternity. History is this world. Eternity is eternity, next world. What is the connection, the interface between history and eternity? What follows? There are some things that we do and happen on earth that will be stored in eternity. Did you know that? What are they? What's that? Yeah, how we spend our time, but how do we spend our time that makes it? I'm going to tell you if you don't guess it. Being thankful is good. Huh? In a way it is. Yes, you're hitting all around, you're getting close. You ready? Reveal relationship. Relationship. How you treat other people follows you to eternity. Your relationship to Jesus Christ follows you to eternity. Your relationships to your family follow you to eternity. You'll know each other in eternity. You'll know people. They won't be strangers. You'll know people. You'll know people in eternity. Our relationships are things that follow us into eternity. If you have been around people who are at the point of death, as I have many, many times, and other people I've talked to who've been there, what is one thing that starts to happen as they start crossing over from this life, as they start moving in that process over to the other side? Starts happening many, many times. They start meeting people in eternity who have come to welcome them and bring them over. Have you? They start meeting people. Those relationships are real. Those people there, they start seeing them. Relationships follow you to eternity. So when you're going to build life on something in eternity, you build it on relationships. You build it on people. You build it on serving and helping to other people. What you've done to the least of these, you've done to me. Said, the parable he talks about, the sheep and the goats of the world, he divides sheep and goats, right and left. What's the criteria for the division in eternity? What's the criteria for division? What you did to the least, you did it to me. Therefore, come into heaven and enjoy eternity. What you did to people follows you to eternity. So it's relationships that matter. How you treat other people, that's what counts. Your relationship to God matters in eternity. So that's what we build our life around. Am I holding my wealth? But am I using my wealth to help others build relationships? Jesus. Verse 34. So important. For where treasure is, there's your heart. Heart follows treasure. What's your heart? Your heart is your passions, your desires, your loves, your hate, your money, your resources. Everything follows your heart. If you love something, you will spend money on it. If you love something, you will be obsessed with it. If you love something, you will pursue it. If you love something, you will chase it. That's your heart. Where your treasure is, there will your heart be also. When you trust something, consumes you, and that determines the life. That's what you're going to. What grabs your determines your destination. What grabs your attention, what you focus on, that determines your destination. What is it that you're focused on? What grabs your attention? What are you passionate about? What gets you up in the morning and you think about when you go to bed at night? What are you pursuing? Because listen, if you answer that question and it's about this world and this life, Jesus says you're a fool. And he knows, because he's been in this and he's been in eternity, and he knows the difference. When we start pursuing eternity, pursuing our relationships with others, serving others, doing unto them, pursuing God, then we are building up a treasure in eternity to be there for us when we get there. Not in terms of money, but in terms of people and kindness. And those are the things that really, really matter.